Hello and welcome back to another episode of Beyond NSU. I'm your host, Chloe Ryan, and today I am here with Miss Antoinette Ramseur.
Yes.
Awesome. And your name is so beautiful.
Thank
you.
you.
It is so beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Why'd you get named Antoinette, and where does the name Ramseur come from?
It's actually French, and my father named me. He wanted to give me an A name because his name is Artist, and so I had to have an A name, so he named me Antoinette.
Okay, I like
Yes.
that. I
Thank
like it a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
And I love your outfit. I love the top. I
thank
love
you.
the boots.
Thank you.
I love the whole look. I love the whole look.
Thank you.
But Antoinette is a 2005 grad of NSU, actually a two-time grad of NSU. She graduated undergrad in 2005 and got her master's in 2007. So how does it feel to be back?
Oh my gosh, it feels amazing to be back on campus. Campus is so much different from when I was here before. It has grown tremendously. It has expanded a lot, and I'm just so happy and I'm so proud of where it came from to where it is now, and how far it's going to take the students that are here now, because when I was here we didn't have all of these amenities that you guys have now, and I'm so happy that you guys have this to work with now.
Oh, thank you. So why did you choose NSU?
Well, I'm a native of Hampton Roads, and I had a lot of family members who attended and graduated from NSU, and it's all I've heard growing up was NSU. And so I just knew when I went to high school that NSU would be the college that I went to.
Okay. And why Mass Comm?
Well, I've always been a news junkie. Even
Okay.
as a child, I've always loved watching the news. I know that's weird, but
No,
I've always
same.
loved watching the news, and I knew that once I became an adult, I would have a job working in news.
Okay. Do you have any core childhood memories of you and news that you could possibly tell us
I
about?
think news a lot of times it's just nostalgic for me, because when I would come home from school, do my homework, maybe play with my friends for a little while, but in the evenings my grandparents watched me after school until my parents got off work, and they would have the news on, and so that's what I looked at. And my grandmother would be cooking dinner while the news came on, and I would eat dinner and watch the news. And now, looking back on that memory, that those days that I spent with my grandparents is just so nostalgic for me now.
Okay. So that's why you're in broadcast today? Is that why you would say you're in broadcast?
Yes, that's part of the reason. Also, being a news junkie, growing up, and as I was in middle school, high school, I watched news a lot, and I found that I didn't like a lot of the ways that stories were covered. I didn't like how sometimes different groups of people would be portrayed. I wasn't sure that the news that was reported was always the truth, and I knew I wanted to be a part of creating news.
Okay. So how did you start off? Did you start off as a writer? Because now, can you tell me your job again?
Yes, I'm an assignment manager for WTKR News 3.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So how did you get to that position?
Okay, well, it all started off with an internship. I did 2 internships when I was in college.
Okay.
And the first internship was totally different from television news.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for that internship because it showed me what I did not want to do. The second internship was at WTKR.
Okay.
And while there, I made sure to have a well-rounded internship, which is the advice that I give to a lot of students coming up. The most important thing other than college is to do an internship and to find mentors who are already doing what you want to do. So I got an internship, I got a couple mentors, and during my internship, I thought I wanted to be a reporter, but I found out that I don't like visiting crime scenes, especially violent crime scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like talking to families of crime victims, shooting victims, especially right after the shooting has happened and you're sticking a microphone in this grieving mother's face. That's not something that I'm built for. And so I knew that I still wanted to be a part of creating news, which is where the assignment desk came in. I did really well during my internship, and at the end of the internship, I was offered a job. My first job was an associate producer, where I wrote under producers, and then from there I got hired full-time as an assignment desk editor. On the assignment desk, we are the ones who disseminate the news As soon as things happen, we formulate a plan of how it's going to get covered. We assign it to a reporter and photojournalist crew, and then we make sure that everything happens that needs to happen for it to make it on air.
Okay. And you had mentioned writing. So
Yes.
did you do a lot of writing while you were here at school, or writing before then? Have you always
Yes.
had a love for writing?
Yes, I did do a lot of writing here. I do a lot of writing now, and I think writing is very important. When I was here, I would say like I had a few professors who were very strict, and I had a few classes that were very hard. And at the time, I wondered, like they're making it too hard. Why does it have to be this hard? Now I get it. Once I graduated and I started working full time in my field, I get it.
Yeah. So let's go back while we're still talking about you being at school here.
Okay.
Were you a part of any organizations?
I
while
was
here?
in the National Broadcasting Society.
MBS.
Yes.
Okay. And how was that experience?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I do remember every year we did the big New York trip, visiting New York and making connections, and that was awesome.
Cool. We don't do that now. So
gosh, we
nice.
should.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
It
New York
was.
trips are cool.
It was.
Okay. So tell me about. So you've been at WTKR post graduation.
Yes.
So how long have you been there?
Well,
total?
after graduation, I worked at WTKR for 10 years.
Oh wow.
After that, I moved to Raleigh in 2017, where I worked at another CBS affiliate. And then I came back here in January as a content planner.
Okay.
And with news being very demanding, it's a very, very hard job. My manager at the time kind of started getting burnt out, as a lot of people do in this field.
Yeah.
And so she ended up leaving the area. And once that position became open, I was asked to take the realms, and here I am.
Oh wow. So what was it like working in Raleigh? You
In
know,
Raleigh?
going from being here your whole entire life, home,
Yeah.
to go into a whole other state, even though you're just a little farther down. But
Right.
how was that transition?
It was nice. It was nice. I think the hardest part was just learning the area, because you have to know the area if you're going to report on it.
Yeah.
So learning the area, learning the people, learning what's newsworthy there, what matters to the viewers there.
Okay. So what's next for you? Do you plan on being at WTKR forever? Do you want to move up a position?
I like where I am right now. I plan on being here for a little while. After this, I think I would like to be a general manager and be in charge of a whole station.
Okay.
But for now, I'm happy where I am.
All right. Could you give me a day in the life? So how do you start your day? How do you end your day? What's work life like? What's the environment at WTKR?
Well, I come in, and the first thing I do is check emails, check what's trending. I check social media and just make sure that I'm on top of everything that's going on. I look at what stories need to be covered that day. I look at what events are going on, and I start formulating a plan of what needs to happen and who needs to make it happen. I manage 4 people on the assignment desk.
Okay.
And I think the hardest part about being a manager is just dealing with the different personalities. But that's life in general.
Yeah, it
So I
definitely
think
is.
if you can navigate having to deal with different people who have different backgrounds and different values and, sometimes different mental disorders, I think that'll take you far. But basically, I look at what is going on for the day. What's the big news of the day? What needs to be covered? How much attention to certain stories need to be devoted? And I start formulating a plan and getting that done.
Okay. So do you choose the word count for the story? Do you?
No, we like for our reported packages to be about a minute 30, sometimes a minute 45, but obviously certain stories need a little bit longer to tell to do it justice, and then other stories can get by in 20 seconds.
Okay. Cool. Well, I would love for you to come back so we can continue this discussion.
I would
because
love to come back.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time. So thank you so much for coming here and hanging out with us, Antoinette.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And thank you all for watching another episode of Beyond NSU. I'm your host, Chloe Ryan, and we'll see you next time.